Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter. I love talking about movies, comic books, superheroes, and horror movies. And tonight I just watched the latest Netflix film and the latest Richard Linklater film, which is Hitman, starring Glen Powell. Like I mentioned, it's directed by Linklater and it's written by him and Powell. And Powell's an executive producer on the film, and it's a semi-true story about a professor who kind of moonlights or daylights, has a side gig as a hitman in Louisiana. Have you seen Hitman? Let me know what you think about it down in the comments section below. Are you excited for more Glen Powell films like Twister, or do you think he's a little overrated? Let me know in the comments and enjoy the video. The cinematography is done by Shane F. Kelly. And I don't really want to waste a ton of time, but I had a ton of fun with this movie. This is something that I've really been looking forward to. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year from what I heard last year and just some of the buzz coming out of the festivals. It just seemed like it was going to be something that'd be right up my alley, and so I put it on my radar, and I've been really enjoying Glen Powell's turns as of late. I mean, everyone knows him from Top Gun Maverick, but he's been a really fun character actor for a really long time, and he's starting to get a lot more big roles and very bombastic parts, which really excited me for this film. Far and away, my biggest positive about this film is Glen Powell. He is so good in this. He is such a good actor when it comes to just portraying different characteristics, different mannerisms, changing his voice in different octaves when he's impersonating different people, the way his eyes move. It's so easy to tell who he is in different scenes if he's one of the two main personalities, whether that's Ron or Gary. Not only is the clothing different, so big props to the costume department there, just small things like glasses on, glasses off, or the way his hair is done can give you a lot of clues. Very simple but very effective to how the scene will play out. But also his mannerisms are phenomenal. The way he looks and acts and sounds, again, just really all blends together to create this seamless depiction of two separate characters. And his chemistry with the lead actress, which is Adria Arjona, I could be totally mispronouncing that, it might be Arjona. She did such a great job playing against Powell and just matching him in every scene that they're in together. She's so likable at the beginning, and just you can tell that there's something going on with her underneath the surface, and the film just spends more and more time with them. You get to see more and more of each character, whether that be some good stuff about them, some bad stuff in between. And both Powell and Arjona play it so well to the point where it just feels like you're watching two real people interact. And so the performances here, far and away, incredible. I adore the performances here. And again, Powell also lent a hand to the screenplay with Linklater, and I think those two are a great team in making this a dark comedy, but it also very interesting and very intense. It's just a gateway, or it's a vehicle for you to believe Powell and every single personality that he plays, and also kind of study a lot of human psychology or differing psychology, so you get to see what makes Gary tick, you get to see what makes Ron tick, and even the supporting characters in this film like Jasper or the police chief or Mike really just help to kind of flesh out those two main characters, their bond and their relationship. And honestly, if there's one thing that people will walk away from this film talking about, besides Glen Powell's performance, it will be the chemistry between the leads and just how well they play off of each other. Of course, Linklater's a proven director. He's been around for so long, so of course he's going to know how to properly just coordinate his actors, how to bring together every single moving part of the script, every single part of the film to be one cohesive piece, and that's fairly obvious, and he does such a great job with it that sometimes it shouldn't be stated, but it is here. The cinematography is fantastic. The editing, the music choice, and the writing, the humor is all very well done. A lot of the humor isn't laugh out loud funny. It's definitely there, but it's not like you're dying laughing the whole time you're watching it, but it is definitely very funny. More one of those understated funny movies where the humor can come from some of the subtle situations, the irony, rather than one-liners that the characters rattle off between scenes. The pacing is also great as well, especially as it goes into the back half and you're kind of waiting for something to happen, the other shoe to fall. You're wow, Gary is having such a great time in his life, what is going to happen? It constantly kind of kept that in the back of my mind. It's not a movie to where you're constantly guessing throughout what is going to happen. Instead, it's more interested with showing you the relationship between Gary / Ron and Madison and how that affects Gary's personal life, how he is able to do this dual, triple, quadruple identity thing. and it's more focused with that. But when it comes to that part of the story with like what is happening, what will happen, it does a very good job of that. I think the screenplay really is just so great. I honestly would not be surprised if this got nominated for like best original, or since it's based on an article in like a newspaper, best adapted. I don't really know how those work. I could be totally wrong. I'm sure it's going to get nominated for something. That's pretty much all I have. Like maybe for a mixed or negative, I'm not sure how often or how rewatchable this film will be, but I can safely say that I really enjoyed it. I had a great time throughout, even in things where it's just simple conversations. Even Glen Powell is just so charismatic and so interesting to just see his different mannerisms, the way he puts his hair out, or the way he kind of looks at people when he's talking to them or doesn't look at them. Just the subtle things that he does, I think will make for a very interesting rewatch. This is one that I would definitely love to rewatch because there is a deeper meaning. There's something that Linklater and Powell are trying to say about human psychology and how people work that I kind of caught on to, but my mind was just so laser focused, and I haven't like done any research or anything, so maybe I'm just an idiot and it completely whizzed past me. There's definitely something that they're trying to shoot for here. There's something they're trying to say with the film that's kind of going over my head. I'm sure of it. So on rewatch, that'll be something I'll have to look out for. But honestly, overall, I had a great time with Hitman. It is far and away one of my favorite films that I've seen this year. I may not have a ton to say about it right now, but I would definitely recommend that you check it out. Overall, I'm going to give Hitman like a 9.5 out of 10. I don't think I've given any straight 10s this year, even though there's been a few movies that definitely deserve it. I'm kind of trying to reel back from giving 10s across the board, because last year I know I gave quite a few 10s to movies that I don't think are 10s anymore across the Spider-Verse, but this year I'm trying to be a little more reserved, and probably in my end of year list I'll say, yeah, that was a movie that was totally a 10, but Hitman, easy 9.5 out of 10, straight up just hitting that peak right there. I had a great time with it, and I'm sure you will too. Well guys, that's all I have right now. A little shorter review compared to the ones I've been posting recently, but I have my Bad Boys 4 review up. I'm sure I will upload the Watchers review, and then In a Violent Nature, and I have a Daredevil retrospective coming. I'm doing a ton of editing, so it's kind of burning me out. I'm trying to pace myself, but anyways, thank you so much for the support lately. I'm super excited to see what the channel does in the future. This has been a great hobby. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.